America by Motorcycle. Well, I wanted to go ahead and give kind of a idea review about the three motorcycles I have and how they compare to each other when I'm riding them. So I have about 600 miles on the Harley Davidson Fat Boy right now. I'm kind of waiting to ride it until I get the title in from the Eagle Bank. That'll be another video I'm going to do. In any case, I'm going to compare my 2011 Triumph Thunderbird, the 1700 model. I'm going to compare my 2016 Chief Dark Horse and the 2024 Harley Davidson Fat Boy. Here we go. Let's discuss it. First one, I'm going to start with the earliest one, the 2011 Triumph Thunderbird 1700. Now, my 2011 Triumph Thunderbird is what I call my torque monster. Matter of fact, that's my nickname for her, is my monster. So that's how much fun I have with her. A 1700 cc engine, or 1699, 104 cubic inches. Now, I'm gonna give you the mileage on the way I ride it, because we all ride things a little distinction. So when they give you the sticker model, it says this is the gas mileage, and you may be on or off depending on how you ride a motorcycle. Same way how you drive a car. And I drive her a little bit harder. So I average about 36, at best 38 miles a gallon on this bike. There are some people I've read or spoke to that get a little bit more in the 40, 41. I'm usually in the 36 to 38 more, because I like hitting that torque when there's no one else around and going for it and shooting her up to a pretty good speed. Now, she's not a sports bike, but she's torquey and snappy in that throttle, like a lot of the sport bikes one may ride. So that's really good if you're transitioning from a sport bike to a cruiser. They don't make this cruiser anymore. Maybe they will again someday, but this would probably be a cruiser you'd want to get, because it still has that snappy throttle, and you may really enjoy it. She produces about 97 horsepower and 115 pounds of torque at about 2,900 RPMs, 2,950 RPMs. So she can get up and go around things very fast. This parallel twin is liquid cooled. It's the only one of my three bikes that's liquid cooled. And I've had liquid cool bikes before, and they do have some advantages in the efficiency models, especially when it gets really hot outside. They tend to keep going and keeping the same performance level. I've had air-cooled bikes. My other two are air-cooled, and I'm not saying this about these two right now, but I have had some other air-cooled bikes that, once a hot 100, 102, 105 degree weather, and I've ridden many times in that type of weather, they can get quite sluggish, and she's never had that problem. So it's really a good feature sometimes to have that liquid cooled if you're into that. She handles very well in the twisties. Here in Arkansas, I have some really good twisties to ride, and she performs very well. I keep her mostly in Missouri. And Missouri has some more flatlands just in the Blackwater and north of that area. And if you go south, though, you get some good twisties in the Osage, Ozark Lake area. So when I go there, if I can go into Sunrise Beach, or if I'm hitting the Warsaw area, you can get some more twisties in some of those back roads and get that fun in, even though they're not quite the same as you would find, say, here in Arkansas or in other places in the country. But she accelerates quickly and is a fun bike. She is comfortable and is a really good ride. I will say this, when I got her, I'd always kind of had wanted a Thunderbird, and finally got to the point where I bought her, and I bought this one used. She takes a little more getting used to it, because you ride on her, not in her. However, while she is got some really good torque, she is a little bit weighty. Wet is about 741 pounds. I'm going to say, if you look up the specs, you may get different specs on the internet. That happens quite often. But it's about 741 pounds wet. So she is a big husky bike, even though she's not going to look at it from afar. My Harley is actually lighter than her. But I think if you look at the Fat Boy and you put it by her, you kind of go, wow, maybe the Fat Boy's bigger. So there's some dimensions there that can be quite clever in how it can trick the eye, in my view. how does she ride long distances? Well, this is a stock seat, and so long distances, after about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, you get kind of a numb butt. Now I'm getting older, so my butt gets numb anyways. But she would be good on a weekend type trip. I used to have saddlebags on here. They broke. They were it was used. It was with the other person, and so now I don't have them on there. And this is basically my day ride when I get up there and I'm in the Missouri area, or even when I bring her down to Arkansas to take her on the twisties because she handles them so well. So that is what's really great about this bike. Now, I want to say about this bike here is I'm here in Missouri around the Osage River area, and it's just been a terrific ride, a beautiful day right now. This bike handles sweeps so well, and it handles the traffic. And I say it because I can go fast and go slow pretty quickly on this bike. Ergonomically in the hands, it does a pretty good job. It has less frills than the other bikes that I have, so I don't really have to hit the panels on there that much to see what's going on and the indicators. The panel here, you'll see that with you have my gauge, is the least beautiful of the three. This bike looks like a traditional bad monster type cruiser. It's not necessarily beautiful. Now, of course, I bought this bike used, but the fit and finish of it is not the best. It's not the worst. It's a Triumph fit and finish. It's good. It's good. Triumph bikes are more expensive than some others for what you're getting, cheaper than others for what you're getting, and I would say its fit and finish matches the price of what you're buying if you were to have bought this new. It does a good job, and it rides really well for that, and it looks good. I do occasionally get someone who says, hey, nice bike, oh, I love those. I just had somebody the other day, actually in this area, two people, one after the other, says, hey, I like your bike, and the one was a female who said she used to have one and used to ride this bike, so that was pretty neat. And I absolutely love it the way it rides, and I love how fast I can just accelerate on this bike when I want to. It does well on the twisties, and I do use the premium tires, so it is an absolute beautiful, beautiful riding machine. The 2016 Indian Chief Dark Horse. It has been by far my favorite motorcycle of all time. I've had 4 Indians, which I am proud to tell people about that. I really love the brand a lot. And I know it's moved on from its Polaris phase, and a lot of people like to make fun of it. It's a Polaris. But I think Polaris did a great job in revitalizing this iconic motorcycle. And I only see great things to come now on Indian. I think it will get even probably better. It has about 119 foot-pounds of torque. Now, if you try to look up the horsepower specs, it's going to be a little bit harder. Some sites are going to say 73, some will say seen up to 89. When it first came out, the best specs you could really find was about 79 to 82, and that's probably about right. This is the weightiest bike that I have. It's about 779 to 81 pounds. So it's got some weight on it. That weight brings a really great deal of stability. The tire sizes are about the same as the Thunderbird. And I keep really good tires on my bikes. The Thunderbird has Michelin's. This has got some Michelin's on there as well. So I like having really good tires. The look of this bike is just absolutely terrific. And I want to say this. I've had 4 Indians, a 2016, this 2000, and another 2016, 2018, and a 2021. And this has been by far my favorite, this 2016 Chief Dark Horse. And out of the 4, 3 had cruise control. It tells you the first one was a Scout. It didn't have cruise control at the time. And this is the most ergonomically accessible of them. So the 2018 and 2021, I think, had at least for my hand span, the width of my hand span, this is the most easiest one to navigate, and it is the best one where I've had the least amount of problems. Often on the other ones, once you get it engaged, you hit the right bump and it goes off. This one, I think in the 2.5 years I've had it, it's hit a bump once, maybe twice, and turn off. I had to re-engage it. On my 2018, it did it all the time. And sometimes when you're on that straightaway and you're just making time, and you've got it on cruise control for you don't get pulled over the cops, but you can still go a little faster, and then the normal speed limit, you just want not to have to worry about it and just let it go. The 5.5 gallon tank gives me enough gas. My mileage on this one is much better than it is on my little monster, the Triumph, because this one I only hit the torque really when I want to pass somebody, and it's torquey enough to do the job right. Okay, it does a pretty good job. It does the job faster than probably most of the type of muscle cars that's out there. I can do it in under 5 seconds, and your average muscle car is probably doing it about the same, about 4.8 to 5.2 to get to 0 to 60, and that is kind of doing this. So it gets around things, what you need to get around a truck or another car with no problem at all. It's terrific at it. It's stable, and you ride more in than on top. And so I really love on shorter day rides or weekend trips, taking the windshield off where I really don't need it that much, because I'm not going to be on the interstate, because it's nice to just kind of ride in it. You don't ride on top of it. It counter steers beautifully. Its handling is gorgeous, and just absolutely love it. And it's one of the best seats I've ever had. The 2018 was also a pretty darn good seat. My Chief Dark Horse Springfield. This is a really great seat, and I absolutely love it. And the looks are just great. Everywhere I go, when I pull it over, if there's people around, people come up and want to talk about this bike. Now I'm going to say they've done that with all my Indians. So, and I've traveled around many different states, logged a lot of miles. But anywhere I go, I prepare, even if it's just to stupid loves to get some gas real quick and to walk around a bit. I get people who will come up and look at the bike or talk about the bike. And in a way, that's just really special. There's sometimes you're tired, you just want to rest a little bit. But I'm blessed enough to have the bikes. I'm going to engage the people who ask questions. And I'm one of those people, if they're with somebody and they're like, oh boy, I wish I had one of these. I'm like, hey, you want to sit on it? Have your friend get a picture? Give me your phone, I'll get a picture. This bike, this happens a lot. I'm more than willing. If they say, hey, I want a picture with it, well, why don't you get on it? I'll take the picture. I have it off and they can't hurt it. All right, they're just going to get over, and I'll help them get on it and get a picture. I'm blessed to ride it and own it. I think it's great to allow people to do that, and you can just make their day with it. So this bike gets it the most by far. And I absolutely just love this bike. Handles well, steady. I can take it in the curves. I've taken this in the Arkansas pigtail area. Not a problem at all. Out to my 2016 Chief Dark Horse. One thing I want to just say here is I love these mini apes. This is the first bike I've had mini apes on, and I didn't know if I'd like it or not. Now, the 2021, one could say maybe had stock mini apes with it. I consider those handlebars more of an aggressive riding, because if you were to have lowered them, it would have had a little bit more of that wheelbarrow feel. This has just really got that mini ape feel to it. It's great on my shoulders. It's great for handling. I mean, I'm really surprised how I'm able to use the leverage on here for handling just perfectly in the twisties. Davidson Fat Boy 2024. It is brand new. I bought it as a new bike, which was nice. Right now I've got about just around 600 miles on it. At 1,000 miles, I'll do its 1,000 miles checkup and get all those things, the oil change and all the things that needs to be done at that point, and it's good to go. Now I want to talk about this bike. I've always loved the Fat Boy. I have had a couple Harleys I've always loved, and there's been a couple new ones I've really liked. But when this one came up with the opportunity to buy it as cheap as I did, it's a brand new bike from a dealer, I went for it. I think this is a beautiful looking bike, and it's gorgeous. It is the premium color, and it's got the nice badges. So now I think after 600 miles, well, I've not taken it on a long haul. What I mean by that, I'm not taking like on a weekend trip. The most I've ridden on this in a day is I did about 241 miles on it one day. Otherwise, most of my rides have been 50 miles at a time. And it rode well. It did a great job. And it's a great bike. Now it's got a 5.0 gallon, but I'm getting what it says on the sticker. It says about 47 miles per gallon, and that's what I'm averaging. Now on my Indian, I get about 42 to almost 45 on the gallon, depending on how I'm riding it. This one I'm averaging right at 47. I'm averaging what it says. And we'll see if that changes after 1,000 miles. After I do the 1,000-mile maintenance, we'll see if I'm riding it different then, and if that changes a little bit. I'm varying the speeds a lot, getting this whole engine worked, so I'm slow, fast, and while I'm on a route, I'll go slower and faster, especially when there's no cars. I'm really trying to get this engine tuned the way it should be. I will say this about the first 180 miles, it was just not clicking, the gears for me, and then finally it clicked, and that's why you ride it, and you learn your bike, and your bike learns you. I also like about this bike is that you sit in it again. I feel like I'm sitting in it, I'm not on it. And the ergonomics for my hands are terrific, reaching all the buttons. And this is something I always did like about Harley. Right turn signal, left turn signal. It's not one hand pushing a little toggle switch. It's both hands. You just hit which one you want to turn. Works great. And so I really do like that. And it's ergonomically, everything I need to reach and check is fantastic. So it does really well. Its torquiness is not as torquey as the Thunderbird or the Chief. Now it's got 119 foot-pounds of torque. Wet, it's 699 pounds. And its horsepower is 93 horsepower. I think it is 93, 94 horsepower. So it has more horsepower than the Indian, and it's lighter. Less horsepower, a little bit, than the Triumph, but it is lighter. And its torque is 119 foot-pounds of torque, just like the Indian, but it's lighter. The torque here is the least snappy of them. It's even less snappier in my view than my Indian Chief Dark Horse. It's just kind of, for me, it's a good roll-on. It's fast, it gets you there fast, but it doesn't make me want to fall off that seat. Even though I've torqued it a couple times, I'll probably get a little more aggressive after the 1,000-mile maintenance. And it's really comfortable, and it's really nice, and it gets it there pretty quickly. So I'm really impressed. It's got those big fat wheels. Everybody knows that's what helps keep it stable, and it feels stable. I mean, on one of the rides I did, there's a big 18-wheeler in front of me. I didn't have any wobbling past them, no problem at all. People talk about that front area, that big old wheel that's hard for the air to get through. Maybe it was when it encompassed the whole wheel. Now they have those vents. All I can say, it didn't bother me at all. Had some crosswinds down in southern Missouri. Didn't bother me at all. Really comfortable. Now let's talk about the handling. If you're going to do real aggressive riding, it is the least handling of the three by far. I know that going in. I had test rode one many, many years ago. I knew that going in it was going to be that way, and everybody talks about it. It's on YouTube. Everybody writes about it. Everybody you talk to talks about it. Some love it, some don't. It makes you have to use your leverage and your basic fundamental skills when riding to do so correctly on the twisties. And I've taken it through some twisties already a couple times. I think when you're paying attention, it handles well. Now I'm going to say this, I'm still learning the bike, and I'm having to learn how to make those real quick sharp rights. So when you're going through here and you have a right hand turn, and it's not just turning almost like crossway, it's almost turning back a little bit. it's hard to maneuver. And I've done it on roads where I've taken the Triumph and the Indian many times, had no problems. And this one I want to go a little bit, wide. So I'm still kind of learning it and getting this bike to behave the way I want it to, and it's trying to get me to behave the way it wants us to. So I do like to say, people like to say you wrestle with this bike. That's true, but I think when people say that, the average person's thinking of like professional wrestling, which is a show. I would just say it that way. I like to think of it more like high school or collegiate wrestling, or more like judo. Use your leverage correctly, and you do that, and the bike behaves well. It's perfect at what it does. That's why you get it. And so it's just a fantastic, fantastic ride. Now my 2024 Harley Davidson Fat Boy. The first thing to start off is ergonomically for my hands, it is by far the best. And ergonomically for my body, it is now by far the best. As I'm getting older, and I've had some knee problems I sustained in the military, especially my left knee, and some shoulder problems and back problems, this bike is the most comfortable. It has more of that what I call wheelbarrow handlebar type situation, so it's relaxed. It's good on the shoulders because of the way I ergonomically sit on it. It's good when I come to a standstill. It just ergonomically fits me the best all over by far. The panel on this is better. I think my gauge is better on this one than the Triumph Thunderbird by far, but I still think the 2016 Chief Dark Horse beats it. Handling, it does not handle as well as the other two bikes. It just doesn't. It's not necessarily meant for that. If you go in there thinking that this is going to be great on the twisties, it's good on the twisties. It's not great. I think it does an outstanding job for what it is, and that's what you have to think about when you get a bike like this. What is it designed to do? It will do the twisties. I've taken on some pretty steep ones here in Arkansas already that I know can create some problems, and had no problem at all with it. However, if I was to do a timed speed test on my three bikes, this would have been by far the one to take last place. I am doing the speed limit on the twisties with this bike, maybe a little bit above. On my Triumph and Indian, I can take it almost at will and enjoy it. Now, I'm not really a speed demon, but I was just give you kind of comparison. That's the big difference. Stable, but the ergonomics is great. The other thing that Harley Davidson does better than everybody, this is before I even owned a Harley Davidson, I've always told this to people. Well, I think Indian has the best classic look. That's just me personally. I think that is from afar. What I mean by that, you're about good 10 yards or more away, you go, wow, look at that Indian. When you get up closer though, you can tell the difference in the fit and finish between this bike and the Indian. The fit and finish on this bike is outstanding. Indian has a fit and finish that is good. There are other manufacturers who make a better fit and finish. From a distance, like I say, I think the Indian's the best looking bike, most of them, especially my Chief Dark Horse. But you get up close and the fit and finish on this Harley, as well as almost any Harley you look at, is just absolutely outstanding. I mean, and this fit and finish on this bike is just unbelievable. I can't say more about that. And so that's its advantages. The ergonomics are terrific, and the fit and finish on this bike is terrific. It's kind of hard to compare these in one way. One's a 2011, one's 2016, and one's a 2024. So I'm comparing them. I'm taking that into account, technology upgrades and production. But overall, when you get to the feel of a motorcycle, sometimes we like something a little bit older, and sometimes we want something newer. And I just feel blessed that I can have three bikes. So let me compare them succinctly. One, if someone said you can only have one bike, say the stupid socialist took over, or somebody put a gun to my head, or whatever, just real world circumstances, man, I had to get rid of two of them, needed some money for some reason. Which one would you have? I would be keeping the 2016 Chief Dark Horse. Now, it's a little unfair because I've only had the Fat Boy for about 600 miles, less than 2 months. So maybe I'll be changing my mind in a year. But I'd stick with that dark horse. What I've done is I've parked them by each other. I've walked back about 20 yards and go like, oh yeah, my Indian sticks out. And then when I get closer, I'm like, oh boy, that Harley sticks out. And I think a lot of it's because it is a Fat Boy. And the reason why the other one sticks out when it does, because it's a chief dark horse. And I think a lot of it has to do not being Harley and Indian. That's part of it, of course, but it has to do with the specific model it is. Fat Boy and Chief Dark Horse. For an example, the Fat Boy was against the newer Chiefs that are out there. It's by far the Fat Boy. I could have went and got a newer Chief for the same price, if not, easily. So, would have been a better handling bike. It doesn't look as good. So it depends what you're really bumping them up against. And I'll be doing hopefully another episode if I get the time. I've had a really busy summer on speaking about Indian and the models that are out there now compared to my 2016. So anyways, hopefully that just gives you kind of a review where I've meandered a bit, I've given some specifics. But a bike is two things. One of it's specifics. Part of it is, I disagree with people, part of there is a logical, objective standard when you evaluate bikes. But part of it's also very subjective. And that's where you kind of put in, well, what does it do for me? How does it ride for me? What is it I like? Because, you may go, well, the bike doesn't handle, but I love it. Or the bike handles well, and I love that. There is a subjective experience as well. There's twofold in there. Kind of like the way we are as human beings, right? We're both objective at times, and we're subjective at times, and sometimes those fuse together. And I think motorcycling does that extremely well. Anyways, just my thoughts on the three bikes now that I've had the Fat Boy for a couple months. Till later. Bye-bye.